Warrington Wolves 66, Castleford Tigers 12. Oh dear, the Tigers, Warrington can only beat what's in front of them. And to be fair to Castleford, they put up a decent showing for the first 45 minutes of the game. But then after that, Warrington just rolled through them. The forward line, yet again, Warrington laying the platform. The amount of players that got over 100 metres for Warrington in that game. Of course, George Williams this year, he's been a running halfback, hasn't he? And over 191 metres for George. Paul Vaughan, another 174. That'll make sure that he stays top of the total metres, I'm sure, for this week. Matty Ashton 163, McKaylee 137, Curry 133, Nicholson 129, who had a stellar game, I have to say. Crowder 115, Philby 115 as well. And like I said, he just punched holes time and time again. Great analysis by John Wells of the touchscreen after the game in terms of Warrington offering themselves up in those big plays, moving forward, plenty of men offering themselves in terms of the lead runner. Then, of course, we had the support play as well, something that's been lacking at Warrington, but there was like 1, 2, 3, 4 players, following the person who was breaking the line, wanting to get that try. Absolutely outstanding stuff. Some beautiful tries in here, of course, a brace for Paul Vaughan, very nicely taken from him. I thought Darryl Clark's try, very, very nice as well. But of course, this for me was all about Matt Duffy. Matt Duffy at this moment in time for the Warrington Wolves, he's playing outstanding rugby league football. He's coming for so much criticism this season. I don't get it. He has been sensational, certainly over the last 3 games. 4 tries now and 4 assists over those 3 games. Leeds, Hull FC, and of course Castleford. He's got a phenomenal step. I mean, it really is. What a step this guy has got. Absolutely outstanding. If it was my grandma's, it'd be polished. Simple as that. Outstanding stuff. But yeah, I mean, you've got to give him a lot of credit. Outstanding performance yet again. George Williams, brilliant. I mean, Crowder as well. A lot of rumours around Warrington that they're trying their best to keep him at the Wolves next season as opposed to him going to the Castleford Tigers. We'll keep an eye on that one, of course. A lot of plaudits as well for Matty Nicholson. There's a lot made in terms of the forward units of Warrington Wolves, of course. Harrison has been out for long periods. We lost, of course, Josh Maguire, obviously. McKaylee when he went back home. There was a lot there, but not really much was said about Matty Nicholson. And I think Nicholson is showing what a great second row he is. He come back in yesterday. He was really good on that right edge for the Warrington Wolves. Some really potent runs through the line. Obviously, lovely take and try. He's there again to support Cassiano. Cassiano, again, probably one of his better games for Warrington since coming over from the Catalan Dragons. 2 wonderful assists from Sam Cassiano in this one as well. Like I say, Warrington can only beat what's in front of them, but being close to the players at full time, I can sense a change and a shift in mood. They look a lot happier. They seem to be more buoyant out there. And what was really encouraging was the conversations that the coaches were having with the players when they were coming off, not only congratulating them, but also pulling them up in certain areas where they could have maybe have done a bit better. And the players were taking that on board with smiles on their faces. So even at a 66 points to 12 win, right after the game, the coaches were just pointing out to some key personnel. And let me tell you, I mean key personnel in the Warrington team, were areas in the game where they could have maybe just have improved. And of course, when it comes to playoff rugby league, those decisions that they make in key areas of the game are going to be vitally important. And I overheard, and I won't say exactly what I overheard, but I overheard coaches really having quality in-depth conversations with some of Warrington's league men about how they could improve and what they need to sharpen up going into the playoffs. And that is to their credit. That's really good to see, that even though they've won very comfortably against Castleford, there's one eye on the future and they need to improve. And that, again, must make the Warrington fans out there really happy to hear that is going on. Brilliant performance as well from Stephen Ratchford with the boot, 11 from 11. He's over 84% conversion now for the season, Stephen Ratchford, and over 1,500 points in his Warrington Wolves career. That's well worth a mention as well. So congratulations to Stephen Ratchford. As for Castleford, I said on Game of the Week, every game matters. I don't see Castleford winning another game this season, and genuinely, I don't. We'll deal with them first. Next up for the Castleford Tigers is Hull FC. Of course, Hull FC going down to the Leeds Rhinos. That could be an opportunity for the Castleford Tigers, because I do feel now Hull FC are almost on a beach somewhere. That's my personal belief. They're not going down, but they're not going to make the playoffs easier. So this might actually be a decent opportunity for Castleford, but they must play a hell of a lot better than they did at the Halliwell Jones Stadium, because quite frankly, there's a lot of journeymen in that team at this moment in time. Once they've finished with Hull FC, they go to the Wigan Warriors. I don't see anything happening there. And if Leeds Rhinos are still in the chase for playoffs, that's where they end the season at Headingley, taking on the Leeds Rhinos. So that's going to be very, very tough running indeed. Probably their best chance of points maybe next week against Hull FC. As for the Wigan Warriors, well, like I say, it's theirs now to lose. I think. Why am I talking about Wigan Warriors? I'm talking about Warrington Wolves. As for the Warrington Wolves, Salford Red Devils next for them. What's going on? Salford Red Devils for them away. Then it's St Helens. Oh, and that's a good. That's going to be an interesting game. That's going to be a marker. If Warrington were to beat Salford and go 3 from 3, the real acid test will be St Helens. They played St Helens twice this season, and of course they have lost both times. Convincingly, it has to be said, at the Totally Wicked Stadium, albeit Warrington did put up a decent showing at the Halliwell Jones, going down 24 points to 20, if you recall. So that's going to be an interesting game in terms of where Warrington are at by the time we get to that game in a couple of weeks' time. And then they finish their season at the John Smith Stadium in Huddersfield. Like I say, I think Warrington now looking good for a playoff place. Of course, they'll be wanting to really battle hard once they're in there to maybe progress, maybe to the semis, who knows, to the final. But there's a lot of rugby league there and a lot of improvement still needed, I think, for the Warrington Wolves. But a great win this. Any team that beats another team by 66 points to 12, you've just got to say, well done. You can only beat what is in front of you, and Warrington beat it really well. And of course, what it also did is it made sure that they now have a better for and against than the Leeds Rhinos, as well as the Hull KR and the Salford Red Devils. So Warrington in a really, really good place, 66 points to 12. That's in the sheds. We'll see you next time.